NBC News is now reporting that the Iowa Democratic Party, within the past hour, hosted a conference call with the various candidates' campaigns. Sources confirmed to NBC News that the Iowa Democratic Party hung up on the campaigns as the campaigns pressed the party for more information about the issues with reporting results and when they would receive more data or results. Sources say the call got very heated. No official comment from the Iowa Democrats on this reporting. But if they were, in fact, on a conference call with all the campaigns at once and ended the call by hanging up on them, it would be a bad idea to plead technical difficulties if they were going to try to make this go away.
Your call is not important to us.
No, and we are still seeing zero results out of Iowa. We have had two on-the-record statements from the Iowa Democratic Party as to what was going on. In the first instance, they said there was quality control issues in terms of the data, quality checks. In the second statement, they were more specific, saying that they found inconsistencies in the reporting of the three different sets of numbers that the party had said they were going to put out tonight. Those three sets of numbers being the initial allocation of supporters in these caucuses, and then the reallocation after some candidates dropped out because they weren't viable. They were going to give basically popular vote numbers for each of those two rounds, and then the all-important delegate allocations. We've seen nothing from the party yet, and now it seems that this is getting very heated with the campaigns. We are going to go to one of the campaign headquarters now, where Maura Barrett, who's been at Klobuchar headquarters tonight, is actually the source of our reporting on this in terms of what happened on this conference call. Maura, thank you again for this, for helping us understand what's going on. Can you elaborate at all further on what happened in this conference call or how it resolved?
Sure, Rachel. So, yes, I'm at Klobuchar HQ here, and they're breaking things down because Klobuchar came on and she left. And her campaign manager actually just tweeted that they're seeing some internal numbers and publicly from caucus sites that they're doing even or better than Vice President Biden, which is very interesting because we obviously don't have these results officially from the Iowa Democrats. And like you just said, we heard from some Democratic campaign staffers here that on this conference call intended for an update, a status update with what the security issues might be. The Iowa Democrats hung up on campaign staffers as they started asking questions, looking to have an idea of when we might get results, when we might understand what has been exactly going on. And I actually did just get, right before we came on air here, an update from the Iowa Democrats. And they told me essentially this was intended as a status update. They opened the floor for questions, and then they had to get back to business because obviously they're dealing with some quality control, as we've been reporting here tonight. So that's the latest update we have here. But I do want to let you guys know that what we're hearing from sources around the state is that precinct caucus chairs are calling into the Iowa Democrats one by one. They're on hold with the Iowa Democrats for up to 30 to 45 minutes as they're working to manually verify the results here tonight. So as far as we know, we're still going to be waiting here for a little while, Rachel, Brian.
Well, the one caucus secretary we talked to, Maura, from one precinct in Ames, Iowa, when he talked to us, as Brian noted, you could actually hear the hold music in the background while he was holding on another line to call in his results. He was almost 2 hours at the point that we talked to him in terms of how long he had been on hold. And so these precinct chairs trying to get these results in are not getting anywhere. Maura, thank you so much. Please keep us apprised. You've been helping us out a lot tonight. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.